So people don't buy a Caribbean passport just to leave the West, get this, and return to the West. That doesn't make any sense. That's not the reason why most people buy second citizenships or second passports. The primary objective is to have some autonomy, is to have some detachment from their home country, so they have some privacy. Now, privacy doesn't always mean anything wrong. A person has the rights to remain private. If the person is obtaining a citizenship of a foreign country, then it's a bond between the individual and the foreign country. At least that should be how it should work in practice, right? But unfortunately, there's a lot of importance and value that's given to that access. Now, the whole fear of losing Schengen access has had a very disastrous impact on some of these programs. Again, I'm not specifically targeting any particular program, but just the way the St. Kitts and Nevis CIU has functioned, immediately they doubled up the requirements. They in fact provided a discount. So what happened? They were extending the discount. You have EU in the picture, and then suddenly the price becomes double. Now that gives an impression that it's working under the influence of some external pressure, some external entities. The last thing you want, and I'm not saying that they're particularly doing this, but the last thing you want is to compromise the data and the situation of your citizens. Now, if your citizens have obtained the citizenship thinking that they're going to remain anonymous or they're going to remain private, and that's what they want, and that's the reason why they paid you, the last thing you want is to break any trust and hand them over, or share the information, or suddenly introduce stuff like auditing, which you never promised before. When you sold these citizenships, there was a certain level of privacy that people expected. And just because you met the US or you met the EU, suddenly the next thing you do is make drastic changes and then compromise the security of your citizens. Now, what it does is it shakes the confidence. There's a certain element of distrust that starts creeping in with investors, and the reputation. I think reputation is everything. You don't harm your reputation just because you have other nations threatening you with stuff. You got to stick it up, you got to face the music, and then obviously you got to give a strong, befitting reply. The bond with your citizens should be real. That's when they start looking at your passport and your citizenship as a real passport and a real citizenship. And I certainly feel the access here doesn't matter as much. If it did, then there was no reason why the Turkish CBI program, Turkey sells its passport. It is one of the most successful programs now, despite having a much higher investment amount, initially 250, now 400. Turkey is extremely popular. It does not have UK, it does not have Schengen. Despite that, investors flocked to Turkey. Now that makes a statement, right? It's a real country. It functions like a real country. It does not get influenced or intimidated or pushed by EU, US. EU or US can't meet them and make changes to their passport programs. That kind of stuff will never happen with Turkey. Now, that's what I call a real rock solid citizenship. Now, if you obtain a Turkish passport and go to Turkey, there are good chances you're a real citizen of a real country where you have real protection. The last thing you're going to face is Turkey picking up and handing you over to Western governments. That's not what Turkey does. And that is what I mean by a real citizenship. And all the eyes, I feel, are now on Dr. Skerrit. I know a lot of Dominicans feel that their passport is being sold, etc. Now, this is no Bitcoin, right? This is a piece of paper. No matter how many passports they sell, it's only going to generate revenue. Now, maintaining, managing, structuring the revenues for the benefit of the country is a completely separate matter. That's an internal matter. There should be internal auditing and proper processing of those ones. But what I'm saying is printing multiple passports and issuing n number of citizenship does not hurt a country. It's not your currency. It's not your Bitcoin. It is not finite in number. There's literally nothing that it takes to print a passport. So making new citizens globally is not a bad thing if it is generating revenue, and especially if it is benefiting your country, that is a good thing. So a lot of Dominicans, I feel, need to understand that duplicating a passport, selling multiple citizenships to foreigners is not causing any kind of harm to your country. It's obviously generating more wealth and revenue for the country. Again, as I said, the funds, the way they are managed is a completely different topic. It should be regulated properly, and no matter how senior the official is, the funds should be benefiting the country at large. Now, obviously, after the way St. Kitts and Nevis reacted, first day, first show, I think it sets some sort of an example to other countries. The 4 other nations, the Caribbean nations, must be closely thinking, discussing what should be the next course of action. I know each one of those 4 strongly feel that it's a do or die situation. If they double up the requirements, then it's most certainly the death of the CBI program. Hardly anyone is going to invest double the monies. Apart from investing double the amount, it's also the credibility that's at stake. Why have you increased the monies just because the EU asked you to implement all these surveillance, auditing, monitoring, doubling up the investment amounts? Is that the reason why you're doing all of this? So that really sends a very, very wrong signal to the investor community. A lot of people are upset, right or wrong, that's another story, but a lot of people are upset with the current set of events and the way these programs are being managed and handled. The last thing you want is all the other Caribbean nations to just copying what each other is doing. That sends somewhat of a wrong message. Now, what I truly feel is all the eyes are on Dr. Skerrit. He has stuck it up in the past. I think Dominica should care less about the access, right? Even if the UK access is gone, even if the Schengen access is gone, people will be even more interested in that citizenship if they can stick it out, weather the storm, maintain their stance, continue to maintain the amounts, right? In fact, they should make a statement by discounting the program by $25,000. I think $75,000 will make it super attractive. And if they don't capitulate, if they can maintain the integrity, they can keep the program intact, that'll send a very strong message down to investor community. A lot of people go for Vanuatu despite it not having the right kind of access. I think Dominica is a much stronger citizenship program in my opinion. And this is not immigration advice. This is my personal opinion. If Dr. Skerrit can maintain the integrity of the program without compromising or jeopardizing on its core values, even if the Schengen access is gone, I feel people will highly regard and respect the Dominica passport program if it maintains its integrity. I think it is a great citizenship. The last thing you want is for it to mess it up, because a lot of investors are very nervous at this time. A lot of people want to obtain citizenships. It's just that the whole fiasco or the whole scenario it's playing out is not making people comfortable. It's really shaking up this whole industry. The whole confidence in purchasing passports or getting citizenships is somewhat being shaken. You don't want the Western governments to kill these programs. You want a few countries to still maintain the integrity of the whole CBI industry. And I feel the whole future of the CBI industry is at stake, and at least a couple of countries have to stick it out, have to make a solid point. Forget the access, lose the access, do a Turkey on them, right? Be strong, be bold, and save your CBI program. Still make it possible for people to be interested, to believe in you, to trust in you. Set the example. You make a solid statement, be strong, and the investors would be with you. Now let me know what you think in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed, then take a moment and subscribe to this channel, because I cover a lot of news updates and breaking news, etc. So make sure you're updated. And if you are interested in insider communications, then hop onto advanced polls and chats, where we have other insider community members reacting to different news articles and sources, and tons of material that I upload from time to time. So be a part of the inner community if you can. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, make sure you're subbed, and catch you in the next one.